In this video, we have been given this system of equations and we need to find the integer values of a, b and c. First of all, let's call this equation 1 and then this equation 2. Now how can you solve this system of equations? Let's try out something. Let's get equation 2 and subtract equation 1. On the left hand side we shall have a plus bc minus ab plus c, and this will be equal to, on the right hand side we shall have 2023 minus 2022, which is equal to 1. So this will become a plus bc minus, if we expand this we shall have ab minus c equaling to 1. And at this point let's try and collect like terms. The same equation can also be written as a minus ab plus bc minus c equaling to 1. And as you can see, for the first part we can factor out a, and then for the second part we can factor out c. So we shall have a into 1 minus b and then plus c into b minus 1 equaling to 1. Now at this point we can't factor out anything. This is because here we have 1 minus b and yet here we have b minus 1. So in order to factor out 1 minus b, we need to change this to 1 minus b. So we shall have a into 1 minus b and then plus c. So now what we shall do, we shall pull out negative 1 and then we shall remain with 1 minus b equaling to 1. This will give us a into 1 minus b minus c into 1 minus b equaling to 1. And now at this point we can factor out 1 minus b. So we shall have 1 minus b into, for the first part we shall remain with a, and then for the second part we shall remain with c, and this will be equal to 1. Now since we were told to find the integer solutions, this means that a, b and c are integers, and it also means that 1 minus b and a minus c are integers. Now at this point we need to find the factors of 1. We know that 1 can be written as 1 times 1, and also it can be written as negative 1 times negative 1. Now let me create some space, but before I do so, please take note of this system of equations because we are going to need it in the following steps. Now from the factors of 1 we can come up with two cases. For the first case, we shall have 1 minus b times a minus c, and this will be equal to 1 times 1. If we compare both sides, we shall have 1 minus b equaling to 1 and also a minus c equaling to 1. Let's call this equation 3 and then this equation 4. From equation 3 we have 1 minus b equaling to 1. If we take b to the right hand side and then bring 1 to the left hand side, we shall have 1 minus 1 equaling to positive b, and therefore b will be equal to 0. Now if you recall from our system of equations, equation 1 was ab plus c equaling to 2022. Now since b equals to 0, therefore this part will be equal to 0. So we shall have c equaling to 2022. And from equation 4, we know that a minus c equals to 1. And we found c to be equal to 2022. Therefore a minus 2022 will be equal to 1. And if we take this to the right hand side, we shall have a equaling to 1 plus 2022. And therefore a will be equal to 2023. Now let's look at the second case. This time we shall have 1 minus b times a minus c, and this will be equal to negative 1 times -1. If we compare both sides, we shall find 1 minus b to be equal to -1, and also a minus c to be equal to -1. Let's call this equation 5 and then this equation 6. From equation 5, we have 1 minus b equaling to -1. If we take b to the right hand side and then bring -1 to the left hand side, we shall have 1 plus 1 equaling to b, and therefore b will be equal to 2. Now from our system of equations, equation 2 was a plus bc equaling to 2023, and we have found b to be equal to 2, so this will be a plus 2c equaling to 2023. And let's call this equation 7. And at this point we can solve equation 7 and 6 because both equations have a and c. So we shall have equation 7 minus equation 6. On the left hand side we shall have a plus 2c minus a minus c, and this will be equal to 2023 minus -1. So this will give us a plus 2c minus, if we expand this, we shall have a plus c, and this will be equal to 2024. Now this a will cancel with that, and we shall remain with 2c plus c, which will give us 3c equaling to 2024. If we divide both sides by 3, this will cancel with that, and so we shall have c equaling to 2024 divided by 3 will give us 674.7, and that's our value of c. And from equation 6 we had a minus c equaling to -1. This was equation 6. If we substitute in c, we shall have a minus 674.7, and this will be equal to -1. And therefore a will be equal to -1 plus 674.7. This will give us a equaling to 673.7. Therefore, that's how you can solve such a system of equations. If you have found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.